Hey guys, so in this video I wanted to give you a really quick tip on how to pull slack on a deadlift bar, which is my favorite way to kind of teach how to pull slack. And the reason why I prefer this way on deadlift bars is because especially if you get to heavier weights, the bar is going to flex a lot more and it's going to be more slack you have to pull out of. If you're competing in a federation like the USAPL that only pulls on stiff bar, this is going to be a little bit less beneficial. This is why you'll see lots of people in those federations will kind of just grip and rep and they can get away with it a lot more. It's just because the barbell has a lot less give. Really good. So this is basically going to be a leverage slack pull where you pull the slack out of the barbell while you're setting your hips, and then you just are going to wedge into the bar, basically by setting your hips and pushing off the floor, and then pushing your chest back. The person that does the best job of this I can think of is Chris Bridgeford. I'll show a video on the screen right now of him, but he shows basically exactly how you want to do it. I'm just going to demonstrate how I think about doing this. So this works both with, I'll show you with sumo first, then with the conventional. What we're going to do when we wedge down to the barbell is I get down to right here, and I'm going to pull up on my hips, I'm going to do my hip shoot. I'm going to pull up on the barbell and pull that slack out. You can see, when I do this, I'm pulling all that slack out. What happens after I do that is all I have to do is wedge myself into the barbell and push off the floor, so like this. And that's really beneficial because you're not going to waste any time pulling the slack out of the barbell. If I was to just go like this and not do that, just go this, I have to pull the slack out as I'm pushing. That's wasted energy. So same thing as on a conventional deadlift, but it just looks a little bit different. So same thing. Going to get in the stance, pull up on the barbell, and then wedge in. So fully grip that bar the entire time when you're pulling out, so you can actually get that slack out. Much better. There we go. Good. That feels a lot smoother, right?
Yeah.
Good, good. Good job, dude.
Thank you as well.
I wanted to just end off this video with me just kind of giving a little bit of an example of me like trying to apply this to my own training. And this is something that I am still working on just because this is a new technique that I have kind of learned. But I have noticed that when I am able to get it right and really pull the most slack out of the barbell that I really can with leveraging my weight behind the barbell and by pulling up really hard on the bar before I actually do shoot my hips into the barbell, wedge myself into the barbell by pushing down on the floor while thrusting my body, just my upper body upward in the air. It feels a lot smoother and I feel like I can lift a lot more weight. And the reason why this is just so important is because what I found is that with lifters, generally the difference between them going from really high levels of strength to elite levels of strength to world-class levels of strength has a lot to do with, like, besides like genetics, just technical efficiency and how well they're able to move and really understand the movements. And so I kind of wanted to give you just what I'm thinking about doing, just an example of the leverage slack pull. So this is with 606 as an example. So you can kind of see here, I pull up on the barbell and you can see I'm not pulling up as much as I possibly can on it, but this is a much better pull than in terms of executional quality and between like the lag time between me being able to actually have that force production out of it. Because while there's still some more slack I can pull and I do kind of lose it as I do wedge myself down to the barbell, it's much smoother of a transition as opposed to, for example, if I'm to look at my 650 from a few weeks ago, just to show the difference that this can kind of make in terms of overall quality and smoothness. It's pretty dramatic. So let me see. So if you look right here, this is my 650. I'll compare this to my 650. That moved like way faster, like in our whole like RPE 8.5. You can see how I don't really pull out any slack, and as a result, because I have to produce more force after I do just yank myself into the barbell, kind of do grip and rip. Like this would work really, really well on a stiff bar, and I learned how to deadlift on a stiff bar, you have to change how you deadlift on a deadlift bar. Like the technique is much more nuanced on a deadlift bar. So if I'm looking over like this 650 compared to that one, just for contrast purposes, you can see pretty clearly how much of a difference that this really can make in how the bar does move when you do it properly. So I'm going to change the quality 1 second because Google Drive likes to go 360p. Half speed. Don't know why it goes 360p, but you can kind of see right here how much faster it really is. Pulling up on the barbell a little bit more, getting more slack out initially. Again, there still is more that I need to, pull out. Thank you for walking in front of the camera. But you can see that it's just overall a much faster movement. And then in real time, just much faster and much smoother because I don't have to, pull out as much slack out of the barbell as I otherwise would. So essentially, just to break this down, what you want to think about doing is pull out as much tension out of the deadlift bar as you possibly can. You should feel very, very tight and very, very uncomfortable when you are setting your hips and you are hip shooting and bringing them upward. And then as soon as you feel that tightness and a ton of that tension being pulled out, you want to push your hips down into the ground to basically just set your hips. And by wedging yourself into the bar, what that basically means is we're pushing down as hard as we possibly can with our feet and pressing out in the direction of our toes while using our upper body to kind of press up and back against the barbell. And using that leverage, essentially kind of like a deadlift jack, to kind of have our bodies go like from this to this, kind of like with a deadlift jack. So just a better example of this to end this off. I know I've already did put this guy on the screen. I kind of want to just show it how much of a difference it really does make. And on this one, Chris didn't do like as smooth of a job. This is a tough technique, but you can see how it really helps you with your overall pull. And he just pushes out hard, thrusts his ball. You can basically see here is just how he applies it. He pulls that slack out of the barbell. As soon as he feels that tightness, he pushes hard into the ground and he thrusts, he wedges himself into the barbell, pushes hard with his legs, and then he puts his upper body, uses that leverage that he did create with the slack pull to use his upper body to then push back and up, to kind of pull back and up, keep his chest high and whatnot. So hopefully this makes sense. This is going to be most applicable to deadlift bar users. There's much more styles that do work well with a stiff bar, but to be frank, a stiff bar is a much easier technique to learn than the deadlift bar is, just because of the nature of the movements, especially once you get to heavier weights. So this is what I do recommend for mostly people that are going to be using a deadlift bar. They're training and competing in federations that do use a deadlift bar. This is probably going to be the best technique for you to use in the long run.